Well, I still think it's a really good idea to be able to compute means and standard deviations by hand. Now that we've learned how to use technology to do that, it seems like a reasonable idea to go ahead and take advantage of that technology. And here we're given a list of percentages of all drug possession arrests in the US that were for marijuana for the years from 2005 to 2014. And we're asked to find three things: the sample mean, the standard deviation, and the coefficient of variation. So what I chose to do is use a TI-84 graphing calculator to find the mean and the standard deviation. And I thought I'd take this as an opportunity to remind you of how that goes. So the first thing that I did is I entered all the data in a list by hitting the stat key and then choice 1, which gives me the list. I went to the title of L1 and hit clear and enter, and that cleared out that list. And then that allowed me to enter all this data in the list. And here's what I got. Now note that this doesn't show all of the data because it goes down off the bottom of the screen, but that's the first 7 or 8 values. After entering the data, then I want to go to the Stat Calc menu, so I hit the Stat key. I use the right arrow to get to Calc, and that looks like this. And the choice that I want to compute standard deviations and means is one variable stats, which is choice 1. So you can either hit the 1 key, or because 1 is selected, just hit enter, and then hit enter again once it enters the appropriate commands, and out pop the results, which look like this. Now the information that we're asked to find is on that screen, at least 2/3 of it. X bar tells us the mean for this sample, for these numbers, and it is 42.06. And that's a percentage, because that's what all these data values are. The sample standard deviation that we're asked for is SX on this list, and rounded to 2 decimal places, that's 2.76%. So that tells us that in an average year, the mean percent was 42.06%, which means for an average year between 2005 and 2014, about 42% of all arrests for possession were for marijuana, and the standard deviation among those years was 2.76%. The coefficient of variation is a comparison between the standard deviation and the mean, using division. So we do 2.76 divided by 42.06. That's approximately equal to 0.066. And so the coefficient of variation tells us, in essence, that the standard deviation is pretty small compared to the mean.